All right, good evening, everyone. It is Misty at This Family Life, and here at the gym. I was gonna walk outside, and it started raining. And by the time I got to the gym, which wasn't far from where I was at, I don't know if you can tell out that window, it is pouring down rain. So I was like, well, I'll just throw my headphones on. Maybe that way the rain noise won't be as loud, and we'll just go ahead and record for today. In case you noticed, the glasses, these are actually my old glasses. My current glasses have had a screw come loose in the corner, and my husband was worried about them breaking, so he said, hey, why don't you get these up to the eye place tomorrow after work, and for tonight just slap on your old ones. So that's what I have done. So daily reminder to go like the new channel, Dinner on a Dime. Videos will start there August 1st. Also, make sure when you like and subscribe to the channel that you do ring that notification bell. That's part of the reason for moving to the new channel, is because YouTube is no longer pushing out the video content to all subscribers unless you have rung the notification bell. And so it's hard to get that word out to the 815 subscribers I have here because you're not seeing the videos. So you don't know that you're not seeing the videos. So sorry. You may think that I've just quit putting out content altogether, when really it's just that YouTube's not showing it to you. This has been it's been an ongoing issue for a while now, to the point where I had to decide what I wanted to do with YouTube. And part of it, I think, is that it does need a rebranding under a name that fits the tone and the goal of what I'm setting out to do on the channel. So that will bring you up to date on why that change is happening. So for today's grocery tip, I'm actually going to give you two. I know I said I would try to do one a day, but I think this is important to share. Hold on, I'm going to turn my AC back on. It's a little hot here in Texas, even with the rain going on right now. So that's okay. All right, got that going. Also, I'm not feeling great today. I woke up with a sinus headache, and I've just felt blah all day. I did make it through work, but not my strongest performance, I guess. Just don't feel great. So anyways, okay, two grocery tips for today. Number one is, I preach stocking up on this channel. I still preach stocking up on this channel. I still think you can do it. I think you can do it in a way that you can build a working pantry or a stockpile, whatever your goals are. And I think you can do it affordably. What I will say, this is where the grocery tip comes in, because I already gave you that this week of now's the time to stock up. There are a lot of good deals out there right now. So going hand in hand with that are two kind of comments I'd like to piggyback off of that. Number one is, you can't go back in time and start then, right? So we would all like to go back, hindsight's 2020. We'd all love to go back like to pre-pandemic times, and we would all love to start stockpiling sooner. You can't. Unfortunately, we can't go back in time. So while you can't go back in time and catch those deals, you can buy the deals that are around now, and I would suggest starting to do so. So you can't prep in the past, you can prep now. You can prep now for your future state of your pantry. So now's the time to jump on board. Now's the time to do it. Now, the second part of that, the second comment on that is, be careful in the stores and make sure you're checking the product condition and the expiration date. So a couple of examples of that. Last week, pineapple was on sale, and I was like, I'd really like to get some rings, the pineapple rings. And I went to the store to get them, and every single can on the shelf was expired. Every last one of them was already out of date. And so I was like, okay. And I was able to get the, I don't know if they call it cubed pineapple or what they call it. I was able to get that. That was in date. That was fine. But I'd really hoped to get the rings, and that just didn't work out. So if you want to stock up on stuff, just make sure that it is in date. I've had this problem across multiple stores. So that was at a Brookshire's. I've had the same problem at Target, where I've went to get a certain type of chips, and every single bag on the shelf was out of date. There was another product I went to get the other day. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. It was at Kroger, and every single one was expiring within 2 days. And I know a lot of things can be pushed past their expiration date, but you don't want to buy them already expired unless you are going to like a grocery outlet that's what they do, and you know you're buying something that's expired. So not everyone's comfortable eating expired food. A lot of people are fine with that. A lot of people are not fine with that. So, but I don't think you should be paying full name brand grocery store prices for expired products. So I would just be careful and check your dates and check the condition of the product on the shelf. So you don't want to stock up dented cans for long term. You don't want to stock up cans that look like they have rust on them, or the label looks funky, like maybe something's leaked around it. Those aren't items that you want to stock up on long term. Now, what do you do if you do like grocery delivery or something and you get a dented can? I would say use that first. Don't put that in your stockpile to save, okay? And I would also say that I've had some really bad grocery pickups recently with quality of items. To give you an example, last night I went and picked up a grocery order from H-E-B. It was mostly just produce, a couple other things, but mostly produce. Produce and one package of pork chops, and I don't think there's anything else. So the pork chops were supposed to be like a 4-pack of family size pork chops, like pretty decent sized boneless pork chops. There were 3 in there, and they're very, very thin. It was like 0.25 pounds. And I was like, that is not what I asked for, but I will keep it. I'll use it for something. However, the apples that I ordered a 3-pound bag of apples. I guarantee you that 90% of the apples in that bag were rotted. And I'm not talking about just little spots. Like, these were small apples, probably about this big, and the spots were at least this big that were rotted on the apples. So it was very obvious. And so when I went in the store to see about exchanging them, every single package on the shelf was in the same condition. And there were probably only 5 more packages on the shelf. And so I was a little disappointed in that. I did get my money back, and I bought like 2 single apples. That would get the job done for this week. But I was disappointed that somebody would have picked that for someone. And I was even more disappointed in the fact that the lady put it back on the shelf, and she didn't pull any of the other ones off the shelf. And I was under the impression that when you return something to a grocery store that they can't put it back on the shelf. So it's just someone else is going to get it, and you already know that it's in bad shape, and you already know that all the others on the shelf are in bad shape. So I was a little disappointed. So quality and longevity of items, be watchful of that when you are starting to stockpile anything. Okay, so what's my other grocery tip for today? My other grocery tip for today is be careful on sales and what you think is a good deal. And the reason I bring this one up today is because sorry, it looks like I got a bump on my face right here. We are at the start of a new sales cycle, and Brookshire's is running their buy one, get one for a penny sale. Now, most people will look at that and be like, that's an amazing deal. Okay, if you only have Brookshire's and that's the only place you have to shop, then yes, buying one and getting one for a penny is a great deal. However, when I look at those prices and I compare them out to the other stores in my area, there are items on that list that I can buy 2 cheaper somewhere else than the one that I'm buying at Brookshire's in order to get the second for a penny. Or it may be that the price is better somewhere else because you're getting a larger quantity, okay? So it might be that the buy one, get one for a penny is like 12 ounces, right? So you're going to get 24 ounces, let's just say for $3.99 plus the 1 penny. So you're going to get that for $2 or for $4. Sorry, my brain's elsewhere. Or you can just go ahead and get like the 40 ounce at another store for cheaper than you're paying for those 2 24 ounce ones, like by a lot. And so you have to be careful on that. Now, occasionally I find great deals in the buy one, get one for a penny, but it is pretty hit or miss. So you do have to be careful on those sales. The other thing that has kind of rubbed me raw recently with Brookshire's is there are a lot of times when I go into the store and the deals don't work, even though they're loaded on my shopper's cart. Or the limit was originally 5, but somehow now the limit's 3. There's lots of, I hate to use the word trickery, but there's lots of trickery when it comes to Brookshire's, in my personal opinion. So what I would say is that, sorry, I'm swiping a notification off my screen. What I would say is be careful on that and watch your prices and track it across the other stores in your area to see, is this a good deal or is this really not a good deal? And then make your decision if you're going to buy it or not. The other day I was doing exactly that, and I found a better deal on Brookshire's own website. Brookshire states that they match the website price in the store. Okay, so I placed an online pickup order for the store in my area. They came back and said that they didn't have any of the item in stock. Now, whether that's true or not is not something I'm going to debate, but I will say it didn't shock me that the order was canceled because the price was that good on the item that I was like, I don't think they're really going to match that price. So I went ahead and placed the order at a second location that's actually closer to my house. They did have the item in stock, but refused to sell it at the price that was on the website. And I'm like, guys, this is your website. It's not like I'm asking you to meet the price at Walmart or I'm asking you to meet the price at Kroger. This is your price that's on your website. And so I submitted a contact us now thing on their website. And I said, look, I think you should have to honor this price. This is the price on your website. I was like, I do not set the prices on your website. I don't set the policy that's on your website that says the store has to honor that price. But I think you should have to honor it because you're the one that sets that and you're the one that sets the policy. And so went back and forth with them a couple of times, went back and forth with the store a couple of times, and basically they refused to honor the price. Okay. But they offered me a discount on a future order. And I'm like, I don't want a discount on the future order. I want you to honor the price that's on your website. And they kept coming back, well, that price isn't in the circular. I know it's not in the circular. It's on your website. And then the other thing there was like, they still haven't fixed it. It's still listed on the website for that price. So if you had no intention of honoring it and it was a mistake, I would think by now we've hit a new sales cycle that you would have fixed that mistake by now. Which makes me think it really wasn't a mistake. I don't know. Like, why are we not honoring the price on that? And so make sure that your store is actually giving you the deals that they say that they're giving you. Because I would say that it is very hit or miss with Brookshire's, to the point that I will walk over to the side and check my receipt. Because they also don't, like at Kroger, they're pretty good about knocking it off the price on the receipt so you can easily tell what your items rang up for. Brookshire's is not that way. They take some of it off the item price, some of it right under the item price, and then sometimes you have to scroll all the way to the bottom of the receipt to find where they might have taken off more on the items. And so they make it difficult to figure out the pricing, and I think that they do that on purpose because then they don't have to price it correctly, and most people aren't going to go through that trouble of trying to figure out if the price is right or not. So I'm not going to say that all Brookshire's are that way. I don't know, but I can say that the two with this online order, I'm very disappointed. That's your website. It's your policy. It's not on me as the consumer. And so I will say that I, after talking to corporate and after talking to the store about it, basically, like, Brookshire's is one of my stores I shop at a lot, and I didn't shop there at all last week. I had a plan to buy $160 worth of items in Brookshire's last week, and I bought $0 worth. And I flat out told them, like, hey, I can't control your website. I can't control your policy. But as the consumer, what I can control is where I spend my money. Luckily, I still have the resources and the availability to shop wherever I choose. We have not been dictated to, like, this is the store you have to shop at, right? In this country, we're free on how we spend our money. And so by you being sketchy and not honoring your prices and not honoring your policy, that's fine. But I, as the consumer, now have the right to choose where I'm going to spend my money. And so I chose not to spend it with you. I have already looked at the ads for this week, and I'm like, okay, I was planning to spend about $140 in the store this week, and I just honestly don't have the desire to go to Brookshire's. And I'm kind of this way. Like, I might have mentioned it in a video the other day that Hershey Company owns a lot of products. You would be surprised the number of products that Hershey Company owns. One of them being like the Dots pretzels. And so I bought a bag of Dots pretzels, and I weigh everything out, or I count everything out by serving size, because of the fact that my daughter's trying to lose weight to join the military. And I want her to know exactly what kind of calorie intake she's taking in, so she knows what kind of calories she needs to put out. And it was way short of what was supposedly in that bag. Then I bought I bought some sort of popcorn, and again, owned by Hershey Company, and it was way short on what was supposed to be in the bag. When I contacted Hershey Company, I said, hey, like, I'm not trying to get free product. I'm not trying to do anything other than enlighten you to the fact that it's definitely not accurate. What's on the bag is very misleading to your customers, and it's not accurate. And we're living in a day and age where we're paying higher prices for your product. Your product's been shrinkflated already, and now we go and we count out the number of servings that are in the bag, and it's way less. Like, way less. The pretzels was not as bad as the popcorn. Popcorn was astronomical. It was so bad. And so Hershey Company first accused me of not knowing how to measure the items. I'm like, okay, number one, on the pretzels, let's just say, I don't remember the exact quantity off the top of my head. I believe it was 16 pretzels was one serving. I am highly educated. I have 3 associate's degrees. I have a bachelor's degree. I have multiple certifications. I deal with a very highly regulated business on a day-to-day basis. I am smart enough to count out 16 pretzels and see how many servings are in a bag. Then when it came to the popcorn, they were like, well, it's very hard to measure popcorn accurately in cups. Okay, I can work a 1-cup measuring cup. I am also smart enough to tell you that if you are going to say it's too hard for the consumer to measure in cups, then maybe your unit of measurement on your package shouldn't be cups. Okay, if that's too difficult, right? But again, I'm smart enough to figure out how to measure out a cup of popcorn. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. I am more educated than that. So basically you're saying the consumer is stupid and doesn't know how to accurately measure out serving sizes. I went back to them with that. I'm like, that's a problem for me. Okay, that's a big problem for me as someone who's highly educated in science and math, to say that I don't know how to accurately measure a serving size. So then they came back with, serving sizes on the package are for nutritional purposes only and do not accurately reflect what's in the bag. Okay, but it's supposed to. So you say that 16 pretzels is a serving size, and you say your bag contains approximately, let's just say 20 servings, okay? It should come close to that, because that is what you are telling the consumer is in that package. However, when you measure it out and you only got 14 of the 20 servings, like, I could go over exactly how bad it was. I'm just gonna give you an idea. Or the popcorn says that it's going to have 60 cups in it, and you measure it out and there's 40. That's a huge difference. It's not a small amount. It's not hit or miss. It's not like, oh, maybe I screwed up as the consumer and I got, 56 of 60 cups. We're talking about a significant difference here. So yes, you can say each cup of popcorn is going to be a little bit different. But when we're accounting for like a 17 to 20 cup difference, that's not the consumer. That's the company that's not putting the right amount in the package. Or you change the amount in the package. You just didn't bother to update it on your labels, because then the consumer is still thinking they're going to get X amount out of it, and they're not. And probably a lot of consumers aren't taking the time to weigh out servings or count out servings or measure out servings. So you're getting away with it. Anyways, it was a bittersweet moment of being told by a company that I'm too stupid to figure out how to measure out their product. So since then, I just haven't spent my money with Hershey Corp. And that's okay. We're not missing it. Now, my kids would probably like some chocolate syrup, but guess what? I'll just buy them Kroger brand chocolate syrup. I'm just not going to buy Hershey brand chocolate syrup. And I'm not going to spend my money on products that are Hershey branded items. It's okay. You know, I have that right as the consumer to say, I'm not going to spend my money with a company that I know is ripping me off. So kind of same thing with Brookshire's, right? I, as the consumer, am going to choose not to spend my money with a company that doesn't honor their prices on their website and doesn't honor their pricing policy that's on their website. So that's maybe not a grocery tip for everyone, but be careful who you spend your money with. Be careful what companies you support, because there's so many conglomerates out there that own so many products. And so when you just choose to let them get away with it and you don't voice your concern over it and you continue to spend your money with them, you're supporting that behavior. You're choosing to continue to support that. And I am taking a stand of saying, as a customer, I'm paying too much and I'm expecting far little as it is to let you continue to get away with even more. So those are my grocery tips for today. Be careful on condition and date of items in the store, because we're seeing great sales, but the product's expired. It shouldn't be expired at the name brand grocery store, and the conditions are getting worse on the products you're buying. So be careful. And then be careful about what companies you choose to support if they're out to get you. And that feels like what it is anymore. It feels like they would rather blame you for the fault in their product than blame themselves. So I don't stock grocery store shelves. I don't make your website. I don't make your policy. But I would like you to abide by the rules. There are unwritten rules of how we handle these transactions. There's the rules of what you should be doing as the retailer or the vendor or the manufacturer, and then there's rules of what I should expect as a customer. Not expired product. At least I should have the right to know if it's expired. Like, if I'm going to an outlet grocery store, that's fine, but I'm not. I'm going to the name brand first run grocery store, right? And you should honor what you offer the customer. So I still am hesitant to tell you what I do for a living. Okay, I'm very hesitant with that. I have to be careful with what I say. But what I will say is, if I told you I was supplying you 25 of something and you had 24 of them, all hell would break loose in my industry. It would be so bad. So bad. But yet a company can get away with that and just act like it's nothing. It's your fault. It's your fault as the consumer. Okay, well then I'll take my money elsewhere. Be careful who you're supporting. Okay, so that's all I've got for you for today. I know that was a rant. Sorry. Like, I don't try to rant on my channel. I try to keep it positive and upbeat, but that's just unacceptable. Unacceptable behavior from companies that we are doing business with. So be careful who you decide to do business with. Or I think the saying was, be careful who you decide to lay with, right? So I'm just not going to lay with those companies anymore. So nope. And I don't know when I'll shop at Brookshire's again, because I've had so many problems with their sales not ringing up correctly, with things that they're not honoring, with expired products on the shelves. I just don't know. I'm sorry, Brookshire's. I just don't know. I don't know when you're going to see me again. So anyways, that's all I got for tonight, guys. I will see you with the next reminder video, and I look forward to seeing you over on the new channel for some fun and excitement over there. So see you later. Bye.